All right, we're going. We're going.
I was trying to quickly exhale before we started, and then I'm trying to be a good influence on the others. So welcome
Mate, I can't
back.
help but notice that Mickey's looking a bit under duress on this t-shirt. This is a Blur t-shirt, by the way, not a Disney t-shirt. It just in case anyone goes, I thought you were a left-wing guy, and I thought you hated Capital, and then you're wearing a fucking Disney t-shirt. It's the same t-shirt Damon wears in the Song 2 film clip, so fuck off. How are you?
Welcome back to the Do You Still Like Us podcast. Happy morning, good evening, good afternoon. Whatever
This
time
is
of
so
day
much
it is where you
more
are.
my I'm so excited to record because it's 10:30 on a Saturday. This is the
Yeah.
most awake I'll be for the whole week.
Oh, 100%. This is like the best time of day ever.
Yeah.
And I will say this, as we know, I'm not the world's biggest fan of working from home, but I'm making, we're doing it, we're trying. I've discovered that if I record from home, I can wear sweatpants. And so I have I have a nice sweater on, I have a nice top on, like I've gotten dressed to my waist, at which point I'm in the sweatpants that I woke up wearing and I didn't have to get changed. I didn't have to put jeans on. I've gotten really into 501s, Levi's 501s with the like rib cage, which is instead of having a zip fly, has a button fly. So it's like you're in a lot of buttons. And I didn't have to do that this morning. I'm just wearing purple sweatpants that are covered in dog hair, and I'm very comfortable. This is great.
I'm gonna get you to switch teams and be a work from home person. It's gonna happen.
I think it really could happen. There's a lot of comfort in I'm in my own. I've got my Kermie pillow. I love my Kermie pillow.
Yeah. And also commuting.
Oh, the commute was amazing. All I had to do was leave the bedroom, which my house is tiny, so it was like 10 steps. Just for the people at home, I have a cushion that on one side has Kermit, and then on the other side has Miss Piggy.
I can't help but notice the similarities between me and my wife. That could be a Damian and Kelly pillow.
I discovered because of this pillow that my wife doesn't like Miss Piggy. She thinks that Miss Piggy looks scary. And so it always has to be Kermit always has to be facing outwards. We should never be seeing Miss Piggy in my household.
I remember being a kid and my dad liked watching, we obviously love the Muppets because we were kids, but my dad would watch the Muppet Show with us. I just remember him laughing at Miss Piggy all the time. And it makes sense now because I have the diagnosis, but I didn't like her and I didn't understand. So to me, Dad laughing at Miss Piggy was like, oh, he likes Miss Piggy, but she's nasty.
Yeah.
In the Muppets, to me, Miss Piggy was the bad guy. Because Kermit was the hero and she was the bad guy. But I never really, because she was always being mean to Kermit, but I never really understood that they were in a relationship.
That's the dynamic.
She was a domineering. I obviously got it later on. This is like when I was like 6-7 years old. But I agree with Chelsea. I still don't really like her to this day.
I think the Miss Piggy Kermit relationship is for adults. Like the Muppets are for kids, but I feel like there are parts of the Muppets that only adults are going to appreciate. And I feel like the dynamic between Kermit and Miss Piggy is 100% one of those. Like you're just not going to get it until you're in your older age and understand that sometimes the woman should be in charge. You know about this, Damian. I've met your wife. I love your wife. Get the friend of the podcast.
Yeah, friend of the podcast, Kelly Festuca, who is currently at a witch's coven. Fate coven.
That's sick.
Thing,
that is really cool.
With I won't mention any names, but a who's who of the Melbourne female stand-up community. Because there's about 12 of them going together. So I can't wait to hear how many crystals were bought on this day.
But also I can't wait to learn the intentions behind the crystals. I really want to know, when Kelly brings a crystal home, what is she hoping will occur? When I was a teenager, I mean, obviously, I was a weird kid. I don't know how that's translated into adulthood. But there's this shop in Melbourne City called Spellbox, that's like for witches.
Oh,
And like you can go and get like all of your spell stuff. And I would go
where
with
is that in
very
the?
close. It's
Not
in
to
one
get
of the
bogged down in
alleys.
autistic details, but I feel like
It's in
I'm only
maybe the
asking because I
Royal
feel like I've
Arcade.
been there with a girlfriend or something.
Might be Royal Arcade. It's one of those little arcades. Not the one that
Oh,
has
I
cakes in
know
it, the other one.
it is Royal Arcade. I know exactly. Yeah, because there's like a big giant. They sell like witches' clothes out the
Yeah,
front,
they
right?
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fully do, yeah.
Sorry for
Um,
interrupting.
no, so as a teenager, I used to go there a lot, with a friend of mine who was really into it. Like I was there for the fun of it. Like I'd have a bit of fun with it, but I wasn't like super, I'm gonna become a witch. But I had
Mhm.
a friend who was really into it, and she one time had us go. They had like a secondary store that was just spell supplies, um, and so we had to go to this secondary spell supply store to collect things. And I think that's the most intimidated by a set of circumstances that I've ever been. Like, okay, and then we get the candles and then we set it on fire, do we? Okay, and we're 14 years old and your mum's in the next room. Okay, sure. Why not? Let's do it. It's a great time.
Mate, yeah, whether me and Cal become parents is sort of up in the air. Probably
Yeah.
not at this stage, but who knows? But I feel like I would love that part of being a parent when
Yeah.
I know everyone talks about, like, teenagers being difficult and stuff, but I feel like, maybe in the moment where you're having arguments of like, "No, you can't set the car on fire," or whatever weird teenage shit that's going on. But like that, if I had a daughter and she really got into witchcraft, oh my god, I would find it so funny to like have little
Yeah.
chats with Kelly about it when she wasn't in the house.
Yeah.
It'd be the best. Like I would be supportive to her face, but then be like, oh, she's at the witch's shop again. She's caught the
Yeah.
V line into the city to go to a witch's shop. Oh, the best.
That very much is what being a teenage girl is kind of like. My brother, speaking of don't set things on fire, burnt the floor in our kitchen and also the like sink in my mum's bathroom, and he melted the enamel, and she's never replaced the sink. So there's part of the sink in her bathroom when you like go to wash your hands after you go to the toilet when you're at my mum's, that's like, and there's the part that my brother set on fire that kind of melted. He was a crazy pyro kid. He once tried to climb a tree with a carabiner, and some rope that came out of like a kid's adventuring set. So it's meant to be like for play, for like children, not for
Yeah.
you and your mates to go out and try and like scale the trees at the local park.
Yeah, I wasn't really that kind of guy.
No, you were a more stay inside kid. Hey, make up your own games.
I mean, when I was young, yes. Because, I had a sister, but we didn't Vanessa and I would watch a lot of TV together, but we didn't she was 3 years younger than me. She didn't like sport. I liked sport. I thought I liked sport. I think after doing a fair bit of therapy after the diagnosis, I was just trying to fit in with my mum and dad. You know what I mean? Mum and dad watch sport, so I watch sport.
I get that,
Um,
but I also think that there's more to that, but we can delve into that at a different time. Continue about Vanessa.
well, I will say, there's nothing sweeter than watching Geelong lose a game of football, and that's happened 2 weeks in a row on Thursday nights, and fuck, I've been so happy. Carlton, Adelaide Football Club.
Hmm.
Yeah, so, what were we talking about? What kind of kid I was? Yeah, and then high school, the guys who were groomsmen at my wedding were basically my closest mates in high school. I don't know what we did. I mean, if I'm being honest, we're probably just trying to find parties where we could drink.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
yeah.
we were into that. We were 1000% into music. Music was the thing that we all loved. And me
Yeah.
and Michael and Ryan played music. Lucas didn't, but just loved it anyway. When I think about it, like the amount of different music he listened to as a 15-year-old was insane. Like
Yeah.
from hip hop to death metal to like Britpop to um, old country music because his dad listened to a lot of country, so he liked Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton and Graham Parsons and all this stuff. And he was
Yeah.
like 15, 15. But yeah, video games, music, and then once I started going to school in the city, and then met my next group of friends, which was all through Britpop, because I was obsessed with Blur and Oasis. I got a job at Metro nightclub in Melbourne City, and I met a guy called Ben Smith who was also into the same music, because he was wearing a necklace that was exactly the same as Damon Albarn's, the lead singer of Blur.
Yeah.
And we were in the staff room, and I was like, "Hey man, can I just ask you, where did you get your necklace from?" And he's like, "I made it." I was like, "Oh wow." I'm like, "Is it did you do that because of Blur?" And he was like, "Yeah, mate, I did." He talked like that. "Yeah, mate, I did." And
Was he actually
then
British, or was it just like an
no,
accent that
he
he
was Australian.
collected?
No, he had it was kind of like just a very soft accent, but it
Yeah.
always sounded British to me. But he
Yeah.
he lived in Japan for a year or two, and he always was like, my accent was affected by that. I don't know. Anyway,
Okay.
he took me to a club called Flipside at the Lounge, where they only play British music. Wouldn't play. So if you went up
Nice.
and like, "Hey, could you play Weezer?" They'd be like, "No." And yeah, basically all of my other mates I met there.
Oh, that's cool.
Kieran, Andy, yeah. So once we're that, and we were like 18, so by that point, most of the time that we spent together hanging out was shopping, because we were
Yeah.
trying to find clothes to look like the guys in the bands that we loved, which
Was
I'm
there a
still doing
period
to
where
this
you
day.
Well, I mean, I get that. I think we all know I get that, because literally right now I'm wearing a Russian Orthodox cross, because this is what I do.
Why?
Damian, it's
What's
too
that
obvious that you
from?
haven't seen all of Heated Rivalry.
Oh. I was so locked into a musician, I could not for the life of me. I was like, Tatu? This is the only Russian artist I can think of.
All the things she said have
Yeah, right.
dedicated
I
me to
was like,
this
but I didn't
point.
want to say that because of the lesbianism surrounding them. I
No,
was like, I didn't want
okay,
to
actually,
come across as obvious and bigoted or anything.
let me tell you my story about All the Things She Said by Tatu, because that song came out when I was maybe like, I want to say maybe like 10, maybe 11. And I was in the Girl Guides, and I was going to a Girl Guide camp. My friend Stacey, her mum was driving us there. It was just me and Stacey in the car, and she's driving us, and we made her listen to that song on repeat one from my like LP single that cost like $5.99 at Kmart that I had that song on, and we listened to it the entire drive. I think by the end of it, she must have hated us and hated the song, but what is fantastic is that later, so maybe like 4 years later, so maybe 14, 15, we both came out as queer. And it's like, how did you not pick
Yeah,
it
wow.
from the fact that we were insisting we needed to listen to this one song about lesbian lovers on repeat? How did nobody know? Like, everybody should have known.
For anyone who's younger and doesn't know, this is Tatu here. And they
I
had
say it Tatu, but Tatu does make
Tatu.
more
Is that
sense.
and then like what's the story with them that like
So they were
it
gay for
was
pay. They pretended to be lesbians,
yeah, right. That's
but
what I
weren't
thought.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah. And they were Russian? Or was
I
that a
think
lie
so.
too?
Honestly could be. I'm not sure about their genuine Russian status. All I know is they had a couple of really good songs that really like popped off for me when I was younger.
It would be
That
a
maybe
very,
spoke a little bit
very
to my future.
it would be a very weird thing for a Russian pop duo to be allowed to exist in Russia.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But
If they
then, like,
if they're gay.
if they are some sort like, I don't want our podcast to turn into the left version of the fucking Rogan. What is Rogan's podcast even called? What's it called?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I've never
It has
listened
an
to an
actual.
episode. I
Is it
don't
the
keep track.
It's the Joe Rogan Experience. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Oh,
You guys should check it out. It's a
can
little
I get off
indie
the ride?
podcast.
Can I get off the
Huh?
ride? I don't want the Joe Rogan Experience. I'm getting off the ride.
No. We're not doing that. But I don't want to become the left version of that. But like, for these guys, if they are actually Russian and to be putting out music as Russian people, it would have to be ticked off on by their government. There's no way. And then if they were, what is in it for the Russian government? Like, what are they trying to pinkwash Russia? Is that maybe what the
I don't know. It was,
what
I
the
mean, it was
idea is
after the
there?
2005 Putin thing. Was that 2015? I will say this though, there was a portion of time where Chelsea and I didn't really realize it until just now, where we looked like Tatu. And the worst thing is, it wasn't even that long ago. So maybe like 22? Yeah, 2022.
Yeah.
I had my hair in like a similar mullet situation, but it was when it was still really curly. For some reason, when I shaved it this time, it's come back like dead straight. And it was dyed brown. And I had like a full mullet situation, but short. And Chelsea's been ginger since birth, so her hair is always red. It's gone darker with time, so she dyes it to keep it up now. There's a secret. But she's been ginger since birth. So that's kind of what we looked like a less cool, less edgy Australian version of Tatu.
So what are their names? The twin
What,
sisters.
the girls in what?
Who are the twin sisters that have that song that was in the Hottest 100?
Tegan and Sarah.
No, the
Yeah.
Veronicas.
Oh, the Veronicas.
Oh,
Tegan and Sarah also.
I like Tegan and Sarah.
Me too. Do you know, so my boss, Vanessa, not your sister Vanessa, a different Vanessa, we both went to a Tegan and Sarah concert at the Palais in 2013, and we were both VIPs and met them. And so there are pictures of the two of us from 2013 with Tegan and Sarah. But we didn't know each other yet, but literally we were in the same room meeting them at the exact same time.
Yeah, right.
Which is, I think,
bringing up Tegan and Sarah now for anyone who doesn't know who they are.
They're fantastic.
Yeah, I really like them. Oh, really? Do you want to tell that story?
Okay. Chelsea and I were both really big fans of Tegan and Sarah. We were both young, queer, women. I think I would have been maybe like 15, 16. So Chelsea would have been like 17, 18. And she had a Tumblr blog where she talked about Tegan and Sarah, and I had a Tumblr blog. I didn't just talk about Tegan and Sarah, but I followed her. I liked her opinions on things, and then she posted selfies, and I was like, shit, all right. And she's in Brisbane. That's not that far. And was like, hey, and sent her a message, and we became best friends. And then we started dating several years later.
Aww.
Many years later. Yeah.
No, that's so
the story
cute.
of how we actually started dating is less cute than the story of how we met.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them more?
Just a big shout out to my mate Joe. Sorry that we never ended up having that threesome, because Chelsea and I decided that we'd test out whether a threesome would be a good idea, and it seemingly we didn't need a third. So sorry, Joe.
Oh, Joe. Oh no.
Poor Joe. Poor Joe. It was his idea.
Left out in the cold.
Yeah, it was all his idea, and we thought, well, we should just.
It usually is the guy's idea. It usually is the guy's idea.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what would be weird? You know what would be weird? If we like all kissed each other. Wouldn't that be weird?
It's so weird. But we thought it could be weird because Chelsea and I had known each other for a very long time. And so we were like, we should just kiss first and just make sure that that's not going to be like awkward and strange for us. And so we did. And then we just like never stopped kissing each other. And we were like, well, this worked out really well for us. Sorry about you, though. We don't need your involvement, actually. Thank you so much for inciting the discovery that's going to change my life for the better. I hope you're happy, though.
Dear Joe, thank you so much for your application. We've had so many people apply for the role who are super talented. We've decided to go in-house with this role.
That's literally that, except it was a dude that I'd known for a really long time and genuinely haven't spoken to since I was like,
really?
nah, actually. Yeah, but I mean, the way that I knew him was we used to hook up at parties. So like,
right.
It was like, well, that's never happening again now. Sorry. Chelsea and I were engaged 3 months later.
Yeah, wow.
We'd lived together for 5 years. At that point, like, what are you going to
do? What are you going to do?
Exactly. You just have to kind of get married. We've already done it. We've already tested living together.
I'm just bringing up the Veronicas because that's who I was thinking of.
Sorry,
I was trying to burn. I was trying to burn the Veronicas, but I couldn't think of their name.
You can't burn the Veronicas. They're icons of this nation.
Yeah, they're not really my thing, but I understand people. I understand they're beloved, so I won't say anything.
Yeah, they're beloved in this nation. Few things we really love. The Veronicas, if either of them would like to come on the podcast, obviously welcome. Celia Piccola, door's always open for you. The nation loves her. Who else can I shout out? You know what? I'm really feeling Josh Pike at the moment. He's got a new record coming out.
Josh Pike.
Love Josh Pike. He has a really fantastic cover of Wuthering Heights that he did for something that's really, really good. It's the only version of Wuthering Heights my wife will listen to because she doesn't like Kate Bush's vocals.
Really?
No, she says they're too high-pitched and they hurt her ears. Little ears.
Aww.
I know, right?
Yeah, I can understand that because it is a different voice. So, like, I love the Smashing Pumpkins, but I could understand if someone was like, Billy Corgan is the worst fucking singer I've ever heard. I couldn't be like, what do you say? Like, if someone said that about Paul McCartney, I'd be like, well, you're a fucking idiot and you don't understand how music works. But if someone said that about Billy Corgan, to you and that, like, yeah, all right, I understand. Like, yeah, I get it.
I know one Smashing Pumpkins song, and that could be it. But I imagine that could be their full discography.
Well, that's Ava Adore. But yeah, you would know more than one Smashing Pumpkins for sure.
Probably. I only have one in a playlist that I know that I have in a playlist. Yeah, great, James.
You know that song. You would know Bullet with Butterfly Wings. You would know Zero. You would know Disarm. For sure.
Okay.
I can't. We tried to play music on this and we got cited for copyright within seconds by YouTube. So
yeah, it was wild.
And we didn't even try to play music. We were just playing a scene from Beetlejuice, and it was like it got struck like that.
Yeah,
but Zoran Mamdani's hip hop song, they didn't give a fuck about. Do you know I went and found that song? Let's talk about Zoran again, because that's going to be a weekly thing until the end of time, I think. I went and watched the whole song. Get this right. If this guy couldn't be an even better, sweeter person, do you know what the song is about?
What?
It's about his mum.
Oh, I love him. He's so
good.
His
mum, either his mum or his grandma, Nani.
Okay.
It might be his grandma, but it's essentially about how great she is. It's like
he's so
it has to be something. I'm starting to get to the point with Zoran, like, there's got to be something wrong. There has to be. It's too good to be true. I can't.
Actually, speaking of Mamdani, he posted something the other day. Now, since we last recorded, I don't think Arsenal had yet won the Premier League when we last recorded. So they won the Premier League, lost the Champions League final, which was harsh and hurtful, but you know, that's fine. Sometimes that's just how sport goes. But the great leader of Mamdani posted this wonderful image. I don't have the option to share this because it's just on my phone. Can you see him in his religious wear that he has had made as an Arsenal jersey?
I've got it here. I'll bring it up.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. Thank you, Damian. Sorry, viewers.
I think
the listeners, I'm showing a picture of Zoran Mamdani, who I think I'm in love with.
Not to do pre-pro on the podcast, but I think you can share stuff as well.
Like from my phone?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I have the share button. I have my phone, not my laptop. Yeah, my computer.
From your laptop, you have to do it. New York mayor wears Arsenal kurta during EID prayers. Great.
Eid. Pronounced Eid.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't know how to pronounce it, but like, great.
Yeah, isn't it like he's just so into footy? He really cares about things.
Is this meant to be
Obviously,
bad or something? Like, what is the BBC
no.
tone here?
I feel like the tone is going to be good. Like, I do think that the tone's going to be good. We've talked about the pricing for the World Cup tickets and what he's done for New Yorkers because that was pretty incredible. But yeah, it was really nice to see him celebrate Arsenal's Premier League win because that felt good in my household. Of course, we're talking about Arsenal men here, not Arsenal women, who I detest. That's fine. That's just the way it is when you follow sports across multiple genders. Sometimes you support one men's team and support a different women's team.
Sorry, I've just moved across to this because I wanted to see an Englishman with his fucking stumps smashed backwards. It's my favorite thing in the world.
Sight for Englishmen.
Sometimes when I'm in a bad mood, I'll just watch. This is a legitimate thing. Sometimes when I'm in a bad mood, I will watch a supercut of Australian fast bowlers knocking over English batsmen throughout the years, from like Thompson and Lilly right up until 2026. It makes me so happy. I hate the English cricket team so much. I can't tell you. I don't usually get that wrapped up. I definitely don't get wrapped up in nationalism in anything other than sport. I do follow Australian sports teams, but Australia, England cricket, especially this English cricket team, oh my God, I hate them so much.
It's unrivaled. It's such a good experience. That is just me now. The video is just me, which is a great opportunity for me to, obviously, Damian and I work together. If you've listened to the podcast before, you know this already. Damo, are you still there?
I am now.
Okay, you're coming back now. Okay, you are back. So obviously, if you've listened to the podcast before, you know Damian and I work together. We had a visitor from our UK office recently. And when I was encouraging him to like go out and do things in Melbourne, he was like, I don't think I have time to go to an AFL game. And I was like, well, you can always go and do like the MCG tour because there's a tour of the MCG and it's like such a incredible ground. And he refused to go because of having seen the English team get beaten there so many times.
Good. We don't want you there anyway. That's sacred ground.
Well, there's that. It's sacred ground. We just don't let the British in to do the tour.
Shouldn't. When I'm Prime Minister, won't be happening. If you support any other cricketing nation, you are more than welcome. New Zealand, Pakistan, India, South Africa. South Africa.
I'm surprised that you're letting India through because India, when we play them, is such a heated rivalry.
It is a heated rivalry. I'm not a massive fan of the BCCI, which is the head of the Indian, which is the Indian Cricketing Association. But there's a begrudging respect with the Indians, especially compared for me being 40-ish or 46 or whatever I am. When I was a kid, India were not terrible, but they weren't great. So to have seen where they've gone to where they are, I do really respect that. They're the biggest country in cricket. They're basically they will single-handedly force cricket to be one of the biggest sports on earth because of the sheer population of India, you know? So,
for sure.
I love the game. So, yeah, and I love the game. So if India hadn't come along and sort of done what they've done, cricket might not be around or wouldn't be around in the way that it is now. So, and Indian fans, I have no problem with Indian fans. They're great. So, but everything about English cricket, I hate. I hate the Barmy Army. I hate their team. I hate Lords. I hate the MCC. All of it. All of it. I can't stand it. And I don't know how many times we have to beat you for you to give us a modicum of respect.
You they'll never do that.
You still look down your nose at Australia. Like, anyway, it drives me crazy.
They give us
but yeah, Canada, Ireland, Holland, any supporters from any of these countries, you can come to the MCG anytime you want. But if you're English, I'm not really.
I like that. I like that. I had something to say on cricket and it flew out of my head because I got distracted. My keyboard lights up, and so the lights just like move across very slowly. So it goes like blue, pink, red, and it just moves across. And every now and again, it'll catch my eyes, and I'm just like, "Oh, shiny colors." Okay.
I'm changing the camera angle. Sorry, I know that's
Yeah.
might be distracting.
This is just like
We've got to.
nice little breaks for those that like not watching the video where Damian changes something and I just go silent because I'm like, what's happening?
What's
I have
happening?
to adjust my whole mindset.
Speaking about adjusting your whole mindset, we were
Mm.
talking about this in pre-production, and it was the first thing
Mhm.
we were gonna talk about. It's 30 minutes later.
Well, we got there eventually.
I
That's what matters.
Yeah, we got there eventually. So this is supposedly a spectrum podcast where two people on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Damian. This is AJ. This is a spectrum podcast where two specky people talk about living life on the spectrum, kind of.
And how
Um,
sport impacts that.
yeah, well, listen, we just talk about whatever, really. But
Yeah.
I've had a couple of things happen in the last 24 hours that I wanted to talk about because I think it's a big thing for people who are autistic, and I would be interested to get the ADHD side of it. And neurotypicals do not understand it at all.
Okay.
And it actually causes problems in my relationship. Like, we have massive arguments about it. If
Are you calling your
someone,
wife neurotypical?
no, but she doesn't seem to understand this at all.
Well, yeah, I will say this, right before I knew that I also was probably like I mean, before I did RADS and really understood that kind of part of my personality, there are definitely parts, and there are still parts of Chelsea that I do not understand and cannot connect with because they're not things that I've experienced and they're not things that I understand. So yeah, I get that. Okay, continue forwards.
I can't handle people inviting me to stuff like a day before or on the day.
Yeah.
And it isn't just like, I really wanted to describe the feeling because it isn't just like, well, I'm very particular and anal, and you're not fitting in with the way I do things. So, like, and I think that's how people think I'm being. And then I
I
think
don't.
there's also a part of, well, it's definitely not you, but there are people
Yeah.
have said things to me of like,
Yeah.
you can't always expect things to work on your time. You can't always, like, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I got an invite to a family thing yesterday, for Sunday, and I had I'll just describe what happens in my body. There's like electricity that goes up and down my spine. I get
Yeah.
riddled with anxiety, and it causes real autistic meltdowns for me.
Yeah.
It can't, and I'll try and explain what's happening in my brain. In my brain at all times, I have this like sort of floating calendar of like how things are going to go. So like today is
Yeah.
like, I'm going to record, then I'm going to go to the bakery and get a little sugar donut that I like and have a coffee, and then I'm off to a Victorian Socialist meeting, and then I'm coming home, I'm walking the dogs, I'm going to cook dinner for me and Cal, and then I'm putting fluffy pants on, I'm watching football. That's it. Right?
Yeah.
That's my plan. And for some reason, the way my brain works, that's very important to me, that I know what is control is
Happening.
important. I think that also comes with a little bit of CPTSD of wanting to be in control, but it is definitely an autistic thing because the reaction. So when I got that message yesterday of like, oh, hey, we're going to have cake for my nephew on Sunday, I had a proper autistic meltdown in this office for like 25 minutes while I was working. And then I managed to sort of like breathe through it a bit and then be like, it's your nephew's 10th birthday. Just go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the thing for Sunday in my head was that I wasn't going to do anything except editing. I was basically just going to be in this room all day, have
Yeah.
TV on one screen and edit in the other screen, and then that's it, which is really good for my brain because I'm on, like, for autistic people, if you don't know, burnout gets talked about a lot. The way for me, and I've seen a lot of other people talk about it as well, the way that you recover from that is autonomy, like being on your own. It's not
Yeah.
a lot of people talk about being in bed and sleeping at all. It's not even really necessarily that. It's a lot of alone time. So you'll find autistic people are the kind of people who go off and need to be on their own, you know? So
Yeah.
what I used to do a lot is go for walks. I'd go for like 3-hour walks. And then once I got the diagnosis, I was like, "Oh, fuck, that's why I was doing that, because I needed to be on my own." Anyway,
Yeah.
and then today, a good friend of mine, one of my best mates, Michael, I'm not he messaged and was like, "Oh, hey, man, me and Lucas and our wives are gonna go, Kim and Emily, they're their own people. We're gonna go to, this cabaret, like, punk burlesque thing. Tickets are cheap. We're gonna go tonight. Do you wanna go?" And it lapped over with the Vic Socialist meeting, so I couldn't do it anyway, but I still had a slight thing, and he was being really nice and insistent of
Yeah.
like, "Oh, well, maybe we could do this and do that," but it causes so much stress. Like, the only way I can describe it is you feel like you're being emotionally and physically T-boned, that you're, like, driving
Yeah.
along at a steady pace, driving safely, and then someone hits you in the side of your brain, and then you're just spinning, and you have to try and get control of your brain again. And
Yeah.
it's such a small thing. And when I talked about me and Kel having an argument or butting heads over this, she'll say things like, "Oh, it must be so hard that you've got nieces and nephews who love you, want to come and," like, she just
Yeah.
sees it as being selfish, which I can, from the outside, I can see that, right? It looks like I'm repeating behaviors of my dad. These are complaints that I would have about my dad of like, he didn't want to come to things. He would, blah, blah. But, and again, Dad, if you watch this stuff and get angry, I'm sorry. Give me a call. We can talk about it. But like, if Dad has the same diagnosis as me,
Yeah.
then those things make sense, right?
Yeah.
Of like, I just physically couldn't bring myself to go to a kid's footy game because I would have had to talk to 20 different parents, and there's all this stuff going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a similar. It it's a version of overstimulation that I don't. It doesn't really get talked about a lot. I see a lot of autistic people online talking about like how they get hurt by NTs, and so they spend a lot of time at home because of that. I don't really see people talking about. I see people talk about it in a sort of fun, funny way of like, autistic people are anal, and if you don't, they do weird things, and that's fine. Like, we should take the
Yeah.
piss out of ourselves. We're not a protected species or whatever. But no one talks about this. And maybe
Yeah.
it's not autism. Maybe I am
Well,
just a
I
prick.
will say, no, you're not, because on Thursday, Chelsea has a couple of errands that she normally runs on a Friday. And my mum suggested, because we were taking the car on Friday, we have 2 cars, but we were taking the big car because we were going to IKEA, suggested that Chelsea ran her errands instead of on Friday, on Thursday, and like prepped it all for her and did everything. And I said to her, I don't think Chelsea's going to go for it because she cannot handle if the plans for the day change at the last minute. And I text Chelsea ahead of her waking up and was like, hey, if you want to move everything so you don't have to sit in peak hour traffic tomorrow, like, you can do it today. We've got it all set up for you. Like, you're good to go. And she was like, no, that's not going to work. I need to prepare for this. And I prepared for it to be on Friday. And I was like, yeah, I had a feeling that that is what you would prefer. Because if it's like a last minute plan, a couple of weeks ago, Mon, my best friend, called me and was like, do you want to go to a hockey game? And I was like, yeah, I want to go to a hockey game. And she called me at like 11 o'clock and picked me up at 12. So like there's an hour between. And I can handle last minute plans coming up like that. I'm fine most of the time, unless I have, because if I have something planned where I'm like, no, it's after 5 p.m. and I'm going to sit on my couch and I'm probably going to have like half an edible and knit for 12 hours because I need to shut my brain down. I can't handle something interrupting those plans. But like a plan where it's like, I'm going to come pick you up in an hour. It's the middle of the day. I'll go for it. I'm fine with that. But Chelsea will not ever, unless I'm coming to her like, I really want to do this thing. Let's really do this thing right now because it has to happen for me. And then she'll try and make it work. But you can still tell she's not happy.
Yeah.
and tell that she's losing something from herself to do it for me. So no, I don't think it's just you. I do think it's a tism, a specky side, a specky effect, the spec effect. I do
That's
think it's
good
a
to
spec
hear.
effect.
Spec effect. That's cool.
I like that.
Yeah,
Damn,
good.
we're like
The
15 episodes in, but I
preparation.
put it. Sorry,
you go.
I was just going to say we're like 15 episodes in, but I just realized we should have called the podcast the spec effect.
Yeah.
I'm trademarking that. No one else can have it. I'm trademarking it. I'm going to use it for something, maybe t-shirts.
I just wanted to pick up on the one thing one of the things that you said there about Chelsea needing to be prepared. That's fucking huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
Huge. And I also like, maybe this is just old school. There's a part of me that's like, I think, okay, so there's the autistic part of me that's like, please don't, like, my sister messaged during the week, and again, she wanted to do stuff when I literally did have plans. I got socialist stuff on today, and then I've got stuff tomorrow with the Festukas. And so she was like, oh, and this was very basic. I'm like, did you want to come around and see Murray? Was my other nephew. Not other nephew, a nephew. Anyway, whatever. And I just couldn't. But what I had to do was like, why don't we do it in 3 weeks' time? And then the minute she was like, yeah, we can do that, my breathing regulated. It causes so much stress for me. Like, it just, I hyperventilate, and I'm like, it really, like, I really fucking hate it. I hate it. I can't stand. And then I know people are disappointed as well if I'm like, no, I can't do that. But then I also feel resentment because I'm like, well, why can't I respect my own boundaries? Why can't I enforce my own boundaries of like, listen, man, you can't, like, I appreciate it. I love you. I'd like to see you. I want to be able to do the right thing by you, but I can't, like, I need to protect my neck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you do. And I think that there's something about that people try and tell you. And I think it's very much, especially in like modern society and the way things operate now, that people will be like, it's selfish. It's really not. Because how can people around you expect you to give them anything? So I'm holding my vape in case you can't tell that I need to constantly stim in some way. I think, like, if you can't protect your own peace or whatever, you don't have space for other people and to care about them correctly, because you get stuck in like trying to figure out how to make your own brain unwind once it's been wound up, and you need to unwind it before you can give anyone anything. So I think there does need to be, like, I think in modern society, we very much expect people to just kind of like do whatever as soon as you want it, because we're used to like instant stuff. Like the internet means that things are quicker. But if we looked back, like even when I was a kid, no one would call really on the day of and say, do you want to do this? Because you're calling someone on the landline. They might not even answer. Like now in the age of texting, it's like I'll text you today. You free today? It's like, well, no. And even if I don't have like physical plans, like you have, recording, going to a socialist meeting, all that stuff, sometimes your plans can just be, well, I need to get things done around the house, and I need to look out for myself and take time for me and decompress myself. And that, I think, is true especially for neurospicy people like us, and obviously people with mental illnesses. But I think as well, the standard human being has forgotten that you're allowed to do that. You don't have to be constantly in contact with someone. You should probably connect with yourself a little bit before giving everything to somebody else and to everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be, yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
Bring it
I
up
really
because I want
like it.
Sorry.
No. I was just going to say, I don't think it's a bad thing. I really like that, because it means that as well, you've got a lot of respect when I'm like, no, demo, I can't record then because I already have something else on. And you're like, cool, okay. Or when we've had to cancel recordings for, different reasons, and I'll feel bad, and you're like, I love canceled plans. And it's like, oh, thank fuck. Like, thank God.
I feel like my whole adult life, and there's certain people who are no longer in my life because they made me feel really bad about this stuff. I would cancel plans and I would never hear the fucking end of it. Never hear the end of it. Just go on and on and on. Like, there's one friend in particular that was like legitimately talked to me like he was my father or something. Like it was fucking bizarre. And just for a little bit of insight, for a lot of those years, I was taking drugs and drinking. So I'd wake up on a Sunday and be like, oh, actually, that thing that we are going to do on the Sunday afternoon, I'm not doing that. But there was also, now that I have the diagnosis, like I'd been socializing for 3 days straight and I just needed to fucking hibernate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can't say that. That's the thing. This is the other thing that I would like to start getting out in the world more of people being able to say, I don't have the bandwidth to do that today. I appreciate the offer, but I just can't. I just physically and mentally can't. And it's not you. It's not anything like it's not that I don't want to see you or I don't want to, or like I'm prioritizing whatever over you. But I just think I think we're so far away. Like maybe it's a generational thing as well, because I've noticed since I've made mates with people who are younger than me at work, you guys are much cooler with it than people my own age.
Well, I have a couple of things to say. The first is I think people who are my age, and there is like a 14-year difference between us. I think people my age are more switched on to our own mental requirements because we were the first generation of like, we're going to talk about mental health a lot. Not to say that your generation don't. I don't know because I'm not in your generation. I'm in mine, but we talk about it a lot. The other thing I wanted to say is when I first got diagnosed with a chronic illness, I was online about it because I'm an online person. And I learned about a thing called spoons, and it's how many spoons you have in the drawer, and you only have so many spoons for a day. So like if I allocate a spoon on a bad pain day to have a shower, that might take 3 of my spoons. Whereas on like a non-bad pain day, that might only take 1 spoon. So I've got 2 more spoons I can use for something else. And I think that very easily translates across to being neurospicy because it's like, I only have so much I can give. And then I need to be able to take back for myself. And so that's even Chelsea now will use it like, I don't have the spoons to go to the store today. So we can't do it that way. And I really like that because it's very like, it's an easy way to understand of like, well, there are only so many spoons. There are only so many things. Like I don't really understand how bandwidth works. You'd have to explain that, but in the same context of like, there's only so much connection to the net. And if I connect YouTube, I may not be able to connect The Sims. And sorry, I need to play The Sims more than I need to watch YouTube. Is that kind of it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that kind of how bandwidth works?
Yeah. It's more, like if a certain amount of let's say there's like 100% of the internet for a street and everybody, and there's 10 houses in that street and everybody's using the maximum amount of internet in that street, it'll drop down everybody's speed a little bit because everybody's using it. But it doesn't really, as we get more and more technologically involved, or battery life is probably a good way of
battery life.
It.
Yeah,
I've heard people talk about social battery and stuff, but then that also, I feel like that gets dismissed of like, oh well, just fucking, I don't want to throw Cal under the bus, but there are times where she'll be like, well, sometimes you just got to buck up and do it.
Like, well, that's the thing, right? I can do that, and Kelly can do that. Thankfully, I think this is the difference here is that I've lived with Chelsea for 11 years now. So like I've lived next to the autismo. I've seen the spec effect up close for over a decade. That like I understand that her social battery does not recharge in the same way that mine does. Like I might be good to like come home from work, have a couple of hours to like reset, go to bed, wake up the next day, do it again, and I'm fine. And I don't feel burnt out from it. Sometimes I do. And sometimes I can't reset in the way that I need to, and it doesn't really work. But sometimes I can just do that. And I can just like get up in the middle of the day and go to ice hockey and then come home and do whatever we were going to do when we got home. Yesterday, I like got up, I went for coffee with my brother, I went out with my mom, I came home, I went out with Chelsea, like I went to like a bunch of different shopping centers, and my day didn't stop until, I don't know, 6 o'clock, and I was fine.
Right.
But Chelsea could only do one of those things, and that was the part that she was directly involved in. If I'd said, well, you have to get up early and come out with me and my brother first, and then we'll go out with my mum, it would be too much for her. And I know that. So I'm very like, I'm not going to invite you. Like, you can come if you want, but I'm not going to make you feel like you have to come.
Yeah. And to be just to balance it out, to be fair, Cal is like most of the time pretty good with that. Like, you know, she'll say like, I don't invite you to things because I know you're going to say no. But again, like, there's always this kind of like vibe of like, I'm being a prick. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you know, another friend said this about me. Oh, Damian's decided to be a grumpy old man who doesn't do anything anymore. And I was like,
that's bullshit.
No, I got sober. I got an autism diagnosis, and I now know who I am.
Yeah.
And so I just, do you know what I mean? Like,
No, I do.
I just wanted to bring this up because I feel like there'd be a lot of autistic people out there who are feeling this way all the time. And I feel like it's the biggest thing for me that as I'm unmasking more and more as I get older, the more that I'm butting heads with people about this, and it's hard. And it's hard for. It's also hard for autistic people to let go because you get autistic rumination about stuff, especially if you think your whole life you've been like microaggressioned against. I know people are going to hate that term, but it's true because you are a different person with a completely different brain to a neurotypical, so you think different ways about it. So you're going to butt heads, but you live in the world and you know you don't want to upset people. You know, like this idea that autistic people don't know emotion, it's bullshit. It's actually the opposite of that. We just don't know always how to read emotions, but we have a lot of emotions and we love big and we care about people. That's not what's happening here, but like there's a lot of guilt that is placed on autistic people for trying to look after themselves. And then especially if you get a late diagnosis like myself, even bringing it up, it just, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy. Like wearing my
not easy being green.
But it isn't though. You know, like it.
No, it really isn't easy being green. Like it being different in a way that stands out, in a way that people don't understand, and then it's how much space are people willing to give to actually learn and understand, and how much do they care? And I think that's the part of it that reads to me the easiest. Of like, if someone doesn't want to vibe with, I'm going to use Chelsea as an example, right? Because it definitely is a clearer example of autism than me. But like, if people don't vibe with my wife, I don't vibe with you. If you don't like that, you know, she might not be able to do something because you wanted to plan it today and you want to go tomorrow, then like, that's fine. I don't have to vibe with you either. And she doesn't have to vibe with you. And I've had friends, like long-term friends, that I've cut off because of it, because it's like, no, you also need to come to the table on this. Like, you can't just say, well, it's my way or the highway. Like, we're trying to come to the table and say, well, if we planned it like 2 weeks out, that would make it accessible. But if you call and say we're going to do it tomorrow, that's not accessible for us. It's a really good way of putting it. Yeah, you have to force everyone to come to the table. And if you're not willing to come to the table and make compromises, then it's like, then you're just asking everything to go your way. I think what you're asking for, and people are making you feel like you're asking it for it to be your way, you're just asking people to compromise and make it accessible for you.
Yeah, or even just like if I said about like, you know, I feel like I have to like, I feel like I'm always tying myself in knots to like appease other people when it's like, you know, you just appeared out of nowhere, right? There was no warning to this. You just appeared out of nowhere and you were like, hey, let's blah, blah. And I've been like, oh, actually, I can't. Maybe it's all in my head. Maybe it's not, you know, maybe this isn't happening.
I do think, and I think this is just like not even like an autism. I think this is more just like a generalized anxiety thing of you will, because I do this all the time. If I cancel plans, I feel really bad about it for ages, and it will sit in my head for ages, and I'll think on it for ages and be like, well, now they hate me. Probably not. Probably not. And if they do, probably fine. Maybe didn't really matter that much, because this is like a, I'm trying to protect my own space. But I do think there's a very important thing that it does get overlooked a lot of, like, I need to sit down at the end of the day and I need to not speak to anyone. So I'm sorry, if you text me after 7 p.m., I'm probably not going to look at my phone. Like, I will put my phone down face down and not look at it for hours at a time at the end of the day, because I need to disconnect.
Yeah, I'm trying to do
I need
that
to
more
not
and
be in
more.
the human world. I would
Yeah,
10 out of 10 or crochet.
Yeah.
Because you have to physically disconnect.
Yeah. I think it's just good to have this conversation for other autistic people to
For
know
sure.
that, one, it's not just you.
It's
Two,
so not just you.
You should protect your space. And three, people aren't probably thinking about you as much as you think they are. Even though I understand that we're pattern recognition machines and a lot of the time we're right about stuff, sometimes we can overthink things, which I know that's how our brain works and we can't help it. But I'm trying to get better at just letting go of things, but it is genuinely scary at times to be like, an example is like the recording studio that we're using, the digital recording studio we're using today is different to the one that we used on the last one, because I found that my mic wasn't working on that. I spent 15 hours fucking around with a whole bunch of different studios, and then I decided on this one. In the past, I would have tried to do everything I possibly could to use the first one.
Yeah.
Because I'd been told by one person that it was a good studio. And I just bit the bullet with this of like, well, I actually use my autistic brain for my own mental health of like, how much time is this worth? You've already spent half a work week on this. This one is slightly more expensive, which I was worrying about, like, oh, it's more expensive. Was like, how much is your time worth? Like, and it kind of disrupted the rumination on it of like, this system works. It's going to be easier for AJ as well. You can stop being a crazy person. It was like Howard Hughes-esque, like The Aviator. I'm sitting here going, and I'm testing this microphone, and I'm testing this microphone, and I'm testing this microphone. Kelly would have been hearing that going on every night, 5 days in a row. It must have been. Like, she must have been going, oh my God, my husband's insane. So yeah, maybe try and use your own autistic brain against yourself.
Combat the power of your speckiness to combat your speckiness, which is actually kind of genius.
Right? Like, right? I'm a genius. No, but like,
no, it feels like there's going to be like some kind of like, no. It just feels like there's going to be some fantasy movie where that's going to be the entire outcome, is going to be you've got to like look inside and use your own power to combat. I mean, I guess, actually, have you seen Moana?
Yeah, I actually have, because it's my niece's favorite movie.
Right. I love it. It's great. I love Lin-Manuel Miranda, which is what brought me to Moana as an adult with no children and no young nieces or nephews to thank for Disney films. I have to bring them to myself.
Yeah.
But Moana, it's kind of like she's evil until she gets her own heart back, like Tafiti. She needs the heart of Tafiti back to be able to be her best self, but that's part of her. So really, you just got to use your own bits to power yourself.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's going to read really well to someone else.
So what I'll do a lot of the time is use a pros and cons list.
Yep.
Now, let's be real, spreadsheet, to try and disrupt the rumination. And most of the time that works. That's actually a CBT thing that I was taught before I got the diagnosis. I found a lot of CBT stuff doesn't really help with the autism because it won't, because that's the way your brain's wired, but it can help with the side effects of the autism, like anxiety, rumination, stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Although if I hit stop on this record and find that my microphone's peaking through StreamYard, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might have to stop podcasting. I might have to retire.
No, I think what you need to do is listen to it and then have someone who's not you listen to it, and also not me, because I feel like you'd be worried that I just say yes because I love our podcast, I love what we do. So have someone like my wife listen to it and tell you if the sound to her sounds odd, because I promise you, she's on the tism, but she's got the tism, but she's not going to notice the sound in the way that you are.
Yeah, because I'm in real danger of becoming the Brian Wilson of podcasting here. Brian Wilson's the lead singer of the Beach Boys who had a nervous breakdown making pet sounds and smile. Because I'm getting to that point. I'm going to get a sandbox in here, put my feet in it so I can keep calm. I'm going to start making.
You have a Zen garden. Where's your Zen garden? Where's your Zen garden with the little rake?
Oh, I don't know. I brought it home from work because I got my desk taken away from it. I actually don't know. I think it's in the shed. I need to get it back out.
Yeah, you do, because that is basically like putting your feet in a sandbox. Your little Zen garden. Don't worry about the sound, Dabo. Make a new space for your rocks.
Yes, but I want this podcast to be successful, and the sound is important.
The sound sounds good though. And the sound on the last episode also sounded really good. Listeners, I know, and listeners and viewers, because we're now on the tubes, I know you're out there. There's a few of you. If you could just leave a little comment somewhere, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, put it in a review with 5 stars, and then just tell Damo that the sound is fine, and it's not just fine, it's good, in fact.
Yes, it needs to be better than fine. It needs to be excellent. You need to tell me that the sound is excellent, and then maybe I'll calm down a little bit.
Here's the thing, right? What if it was Joe Rogan telling you that the sound was excellent? Master of podcasts, Joe Rogan. We've stumped him.
It's like a Zen riddle. I don't know, because I don't trust anything that he says. But he is also the most successful podcaster of all time. But then he'll say
Joe Rogan thinks our sound is mid. That's the best thing that Joe Rogan could say is that our sound is mid.
Yeah, well, what the fuck would you know? He doesn't do his own paneling anyway. He wouldn't know.
No, but here's the thing. Mid in the eyes of Joe Rogan is fantastic in the eyes of everybody else who is not an asshole.
Yeah, it would need to be someone who produced a podcast that I liked. It'd need to be like Brett, who produces the Action Boys, or it'd have to be someone like that.
Who is a podcast producer and told you that the sound is good.
Yeah, she said it was fine, but she also, I know she's so over it, she's not listening.
Kelly.
It's fair enough.
How could you do this to sweet AJ?
No. To be fair, like, we've been together 5 years, and basically since the second week of our relationship, I've been putting headphones on her head, be like, can you just listen to this and tell me if it sounds good to you? And every time she's like, yeah, sounds great. And I don't trust her. So she's over it, because then I'll be like, are you sure? Because I heard blah, blah. And then she's like, I can't. So it's fair.
I can't do this with you again.
Fair. Yes, it's completely fair. 5 years. Imagine 5 years of that shit. So it's like, like the person you love comes over, puts headphones on your head, says, listen to this. Is it good? You go, yeah, it is. And then they go, no, it's not. It's not good. And then they walk off like Leonardo DiCaprio at the end of The Aviator, the way of the future, the way of the future, the way of the future, the way of the future. Like, it's too much.
Right. Last night I watched Chelsea stop and restart. So she's been selected to do a patent test for this crochet blanket. This is like a big deal, being asked to be a patent tester, because that implies that you're very good at what you do. And so she's been asked to do a patent test, and she'd show me what it looked like, and I was like, "This is great. looks fantastic to me. And then she'd be like, nah, it's not quite right. And then she'd scrap it and start again. I watched her do this. It's 252 stitches across. So like it is like king size big. It is big. And I would watch her start, ask me for my opinion. I would provide my true and correct, honest opinion that it was great. And then she'd be like, you're wrong, and start again. What are you doing? What are all of you doing? I love you more than life itself, but Jesus Christ. I bought a little teddy bear. For the listeners and viewers, you may know him. His name is Jungle Slog. He's from IKEA. He's a queer icon.
Okay.
It's spelled DJ Jungle Slog.
I got it.
Yeah. If you could please just show the people Jungle Slog.
I think this is him. I don't know what he looks like. So this
is
could
he
be
a
anything.
big brown bear?
Yeah.
That's him.
Is
Pull
that
him up for the viewers. That's Jungle Slog.
No, what can
now
I get a full photo of?
I got he's big. I got the little version of Jungle Slog.
Yeah.
Because I don't have space for a big old one of those. And I decided to knit him a sweater. And so I just picked up my knitting needles and was like, I'll make this up as we go and see how we go. And it's working out just fine. If you scroll down a little bit again, you'll also see Blahaj. If you scroll down just a little bit, there's Blahaj. He's the shark.
Yeah.
And he is a trans icon.
Oh,
so you've got Jungle Slog, who I think is just in general a queer icon, and then Blahaj is the trans shark. I also have a big Blahaj. So I don't have the little Blahaj. I have the really big Blahaj, and it lives in our bed, and we use it as like a hip pillow, because if you know what it's like to have hips in an AFAB body, you probably need to raise up one of your legs to sleep comfortably. And so we use Blahaj for that.
Can I ask why Blahaj is a trans icon? Like,
I truly don't know.
Why?
I can't remember. It was a thing that happened online. It probably came from a Reddit thread. When I was looking for patterns to knit Jungle Slog a jumper last night, before I decided to just freehand it and make it up, and if I make a mistake, I make a mistake and we keep going. I looked it up and everyone was, talking on Reddit. So I think maybe he came from Reddit as a queer icon. But Blahaj the shark and is the trans icon. Jungle Slog the bear is, I'm pretty sure, just a queer icon. Everyone's got to latch onto something. IKEA soft toys are the chosen things of my people.
No, it's cool. I like it.
Yeah. But yeah, so like the perspective of Chelsea would just do it and it would look perfect and she would just scrap it and start again. Whereas I'm like, I started it. If I fuck it up, I fuck it up. I'm going to stick with it and see how we go.
I'm just going to see.
Probably completely different circumstances. Also, I'm really sorry, viewers, for how much I'm vaping. I will say this is the one drawback of work from home is that I can just vape in my own lounge room.
No, it's cool. People like it. People like it.
That I'm cool.
It's real.
I'm not cool. That's true. It is.
To show you guys, this is the extent of Brian Wilson's mania that happened in the late 60s. I love the Beach Boys. Anyone who knows me knows that I love 60s and 70s rock.
Oh, wow.
And roll. And Brian, now this is in his house, I'm pretty sure.
Wow. Yeah, it says it's in his house, in his living room.
Yeah, in his living room.
So what, you're trying to watch Tally, and then there's cousin Brian at his sandpit piano. Would the pedals not get fucked up with the sand?
Yeah.
Would that not affect the sound ultimately, making it worse?
Yeah, I don't think he's recording on that. I think he's just writing on it. So
but still, like, he's not able to write to the full ability if he's fucking with his pedals that bad.
I don't know. Maybe it's got like a little. I don't know.
It's just the sensory concept of this is bothering me as someone who played piano for a very long time. This sensory situation I'm finding very upsetting.
Yeah, but to me, it's a pretty obvious signpost that Brian was very autistic.
It's also just occurring. Yes, definitely. It's also just occurring to me. Maybe it's sand because they're called the Beach Boys.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, that just went straight over my head.
Yeah, they were legit like California boys, you know. So,
yeah.
But Brian, like true genius, but also insane.
Isn't there a tribute to the Beach Boys in Queensland? Is it the Beach Boys that have the tribute in Queensland? Is it a different band?
It would be weird for Queensland to try and we've got a beach too. So here's the Beach Boys statue. Like that would be bizarre.
No, it's not. Who is it that okay. Band
the Bee Gees.
tribute.
The Bee Gees are
The Bee Gees. Thank you.
The Bee Gees are from Australia.
I didn't, you know, Damian, I'm always learning new things about music from you.
This will be it here. This is like our crappy version of the Beatles in Liverpool. Oh my god. Why can't I bring this up? Is this it here?
It's like in Redcliffe. I've been.
I can't bring it up on all right, I'm just gonna sorry.
No,
here we go.
You don't need to
apologize, Master Damian. Here we go. I've got it here. God, so much clicking to get to one fucking this is one.
Yeah.
So Bee Gees Way.
Yeah, it's in Redcliffe. I've been there. That's my favorite beach. It's really near a street that I find the most satisfying street name in Australia because it's called Humpy Bong Street.
That's like the most Australian. That's what Barry Gibb looked like 10 years ago. But yeah, they moved to England when they were quite young. Like 15, like I think the twins were 15 and Barry was like 17. Because they were already on Australian radio and TV. And so yeah. So people think of them as English, but they are Australian.
Yeah. Good old Redcliffe.
It could be that Australian thing where like they were born in England and moved here when they were 2 or something, but yeah.
Well, as our dear friend Zach will attest, sometimes you have to move around to be able to do the things you need to do in Australia. And this will also be true of my child, who will live for at least 12 months in Queensland, so that should they ever be called up for state of origin, they can represent Queensland. Just in case. You have to be prepared for these things. So, you know, they're Australian now.
They
lived in Queensland for at least a period of time.
I just wanted to show this is the English comparison of the Beatles statue compared to...
Where is that?
That's in Liverpool, out the front of the town hall.
I've never been to Liverpool.
It's so beautiful. There's such beautiful statues. And
they do look wonderful.
Like, they're huge as well. So like a human basically goes up to Paul's elbow there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they're these massive guys. That's from the back there. It looks great. It's so good. It's such a good art installation. There's Paul. Oh, you know, we were the 4 guys. We didn't even know.
Did you see Paul Chicken Shop Date?
Yes, I have. Yeah. Can I say, I'm not a massive fan of that girl.
Amelia de Molenberg?
There's something about her. Like, I don't hate her, but there was something about that interview where I was like, do you know who you're talking to?
Yeah, but that's how she does it. That's her thing.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, I do find the secondhand discomfort sometimes too much, but I enjoy little bits and pieces of it because I think
Paul handled it fine. She's like, he's dealt with people. Like it's fine. There were just moments where I was like, you know, you're talking to Paul McCartney. Right? Like, I know that's the bit, but like, show some fucking respect, man. You know what I mean? But anyway, I love
Amelia de Molenberg. If you'd ever like to come on the podcast or get Damo on Chicken Shop Date, it's not for me because I have a wife, therefore cannot go on a date. But you also have a wife, Damo, but you know, I'm sure Callie would be up for it. So
she wouldn't. Yeah, she'd be happy to get rid of me.
Yeah, Amelia de Molenberg, welcome on the podcast anytime. Or just simply take Damian on a chicken shop date. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, we can talk about Paul McCartney and how you need to learn to respect your elders, you know?
I mean, I think she was incredibly respectful. She was just doing her thing. If his people signed him up to do it, he should have been prepped for her to be doing her thing.
He was fine. Paul handled it fine. I'm getting antsy on his behalf. He would be like, "Hey, Damian, it's cool. Don't worry about it. It's all good, man." You know, but I would be like, you know,
maybe
and then
that's
John
what
would
you
be like,
need.
"What's a chicken shop date?"
I think,
and then
Damian,
Paul would be
I
like,
figured everything out for you. And we're at an hour 15, so I do feel like this is going to be a really great way to wrap up the podcast. What you need to do is give yourself a mental Paul McCartney. And so when you start to think, oh, someone's going to be mad at me for cancelling these plans, mental Paul McCartney will go, "Oh, Damian, I don't think you need to worry," or however you do that voice.
"Don't worry
like
about
he's
it."
Instead of having like a devil and an angel on your shoulder, you can just have Paul McCartney sit there. I can make you this on like for a t-shirt if you'd like. You can just have little Paul McCartney sit there.
I've got a thing over here.
Are you about to like pull out a tiny Paul McCartney to sit on your shoulder?
I can't reach it. Hang on. Let me just. No, I'm going to ruin the microphone.
Oh, not the microphone again.
Hey, there he is.
Yeah, see? Just have tiny Paul McCartney sit on your shoulder at all times. There's a fly. Have tiny Paul McCartney sit on your shoulder at all times, and he can just tell you that it's all right. You've worked 8 days a
week. Yeah, you've worked 8 days a week. You need 8 arms to hold you. Yeah, that's enough of that. Yeah, she was fine. I don't know why I'm getting worried about the chicken shop girl. She's fine.
I mean, Amelia de Molenberg.
Out of all the fucking people on earth to be, I am furious at the chicken shop girl that she didn't show enough respect to Paul McCartney, even though that's her comedic bit. Meanwhile,
that is her bit.
Donald Trump is existing. You know what
I mean? To really, I feel like we've just highlighted how autistic you are about Paul McCartney. To really highlight who I am as a person, I just looked over at my TV, and you may have noticed, viewers, that I got, for a moment, went a bit wide-eyed and got a bit excited because Mothman's on my television.
Who's Mothman?
Who's Mothman?
Yeah.
Who's Mothman? Damian.
Yeah.
The man, the moth, the legend.
Who's Mothman?
Okay.
I'm looking it up.
So Mothman is a cryptid. And at the moment, BuzzFeed Unsolved, I just put on like a BuzzFeed Unsolved thing to play in the background in case I ever looked over at the television. I'd just be comforted by Ryan and Shane. Again, Ryan Bagara, Shane Madej, always welcome on the podcast. Come talk to us about your special interests. But Mothman is a cryptid.
Talk about your special interest. Is it this guy? Is this...
Okay, put the share on. Let's see. He's like a full dude that's like looks like a human moth with big red eyes, and he's completely black.
Yeah,
that's the Mothman.
Oh, it's like a.
Okay. This is the statue of Mothman. It's not an urban legend. He's a cryptid.
What?
So he's he's a cryptozoological creature, which is essentially a creature that exists kind of outside of the creatures that we know about on planet Earth, but you can't prove that he's not real because people have seen him.
Right.
What
if it's just someone dressing up as Mothman and...
No, he flies, and people have seen him in flight.
Where?
He's like the Yeti or like Bigfoot.
But I assume this happens in America, right? Because this always happens in America?
Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
Oh my God. This is amazing.
Which is where you can see the big Mothman statue. But that big Mothman statue is stacked. So if we were seeing the back of it, he's got an insane ass on him. Like absolutely insane ass on him. He is clappable material. A lot of clappable material on Mothman. I did just get overexcited because he's on my television.
We've covered so many different areas of subjects today. It's great.
Yeah,
and this screen share thing, this is awesome. I love it. It adds like another dimension to the podcast too.
And I just feel like because we can't prove if Mothman is real or not real, we can't get done for copyright this time.
Yeah, that's why I've
Mothman's
been very
encrypted.
particular to bring up photos rather than we can play videos, we can play stuff off social media, we just can't use copyrighted music or we can't just play 6 minutes of Beetlejuice. You know, I didn't even think of that. And then YouTube was like,
I, at the time, did and was like, "No, it's be fun."
No, it's not.
We should do like a Patreon where we'll just watch a movie together and put it on share, and it can be on Patreon.
Oh, do you know how excited I am about that?
I thought you might like that idea.
That's rad. Wow, that would be so much fun.
See, there are lots of things that we can do that we just can't share it to YouTube. That's
Yeah,
fine. We've got ways
YouTube.
around YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. You know my real mum.
They're owned by Google, so fuck yes.
No,
YouTube
don't
absolutely
we really
love.
like to be we'd
Yeah,
really like to be
YouTube.
in your algorithm, so don't listen to AJ.
Yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow, whatever. Really good.
Don't listen to AJ algorithm. Only listen to Damian. The algorithm is God. We love YouTube algorithm.
Yes, love you, YouTube algorithm. Love all the algorithms. I just I'm really great at social engagement.
That has to be our sign off from now on.
We love the algorithm.
Rather than do you still like us? It's like we love you, YouTube algorithm.
No, it's does the algorithm still like us?
Yeah, well, we actually have talked about some Spectrum stuff today, which is good.
Wait, that is good.
There's been the usual ramblings, which is also fun.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it is very true of existing on the spectrum and being neurospicy is that sometimes your thoughts are not linear and they do not necessarily make sense to others. So it's always nice to be able to have a conversation or listen to a conversation with someone who kind of understands that and will let you get sidetracked and, you know, talk about BG's way and the weird, huge Beatles in Liverpool, whilst also educating you about Mothman.
Mothman is my favorite Soundgarden song. Mothman, come together with your ass.
I thought it was going to be your favorite police song, Mothman. You don't have to turn on.
You don't have to turn on your red eyes.
Now, Damian, have I got a proposition for you off the air?
Yeah. Stand aside, weirdo Yankovic.
We've got Mothman. Okay.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up there. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you for watching, guys. I hope the algorithm still likes us, but we're going to sign off normally, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you still like us?
If we were an improv class, we'd get kicked out.
Yeah, we absolutely would. I'd start talking about D&D, though. They'd have me out very quickly.
Let's try one more time. Do
you just join in when it sounds right.
Okay.
No. 1, 2. Do you still like us? No.
I don't know how quickly you're going.
Okay, I'm going to say it like, do you still like us?
Okay.
Okay. Should we go on 3? So I'll say 3 and we'll go right after.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Do you still like us?
Still like us?
Damian, you've made my dog bark. We've said it so many times.
That one was all right.
I can't wait for you to watch it back and realize that we're completely off time because you started talking about 3 seconds after me.
Well, maybe we need to find a way to do separate ones. Maybe you say, "Do you still like us?" and then I go, "Please love the algorithm," or whatever.
What if I say, "Do you still?" and then you say, "Like us"?
Oh. Okay.
So if we try that one. Do you still
like us?
Yeah, that's it. End it there. End the recording. That's the one.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.